You won't believe what happened in this historic Mormon chapel. This story will absolutely shock you. Two young missionaries, Elder James and Elder David, were assigned to the same ward in Utah. Both were devout, both were following the path their families expected, but something unbelievable was brewing beneath the surface. James had been struggling with feelings he couldn't name, couldn't accept. Every prayer felt like a confession he wasn't ready to make. David seemed different too, always lingering after scripture study, always finding reasons to walk together. One evening during district meeting, they were cleaning the old chapel built in 1890. David discovered a hidden alcove behind the altar, a space between the walls where early pioneers once hid their most precious belongings. This is where everything changed. James followed David into that secret space, hearts pounding like thunder. The moonlight filtered through ancient stained glass, casting rainbows across their faces. David whispered, "I can't pretend anymore, James. I think about you every single day." James felt his world shatter and rebuild in the same moment. "Me too," he breathed back. Their first kiss happened in that sacred hidden space, surrounded by history and hope. But their love story was just beginning. They started meeting in the alcove every night, sharing dreams, fears, and stolen moments. David would bring his journal, writing love letters he could never send. James would bring wildflowers picked from the temple gardens. They created their own sanctuary within the sanctuary, but keeping this secret was tearing them apart. The guilt, the fear, the constant hiding. James started having panic attacks during sacrament meetings. David withdrew from his companion completely. Everything fell apart when Elder Peterson, their zone leader, caught them holding hands in the chapel library. The confrontation was brutal. Peterson threatened to report them immediately. James begged for mercy. David stood defiant. "This is who we are," David declared. "I won't apologize for love." Peterson gave them one ultimatum: end this relationship or face immediate transfer and potential excommunication. That night in their secret alcove, they made an impossible choice. They decided to leave their missions, leave the church, leave everything they'd ever known. But they wouldn't leave each other. The next morning, they packed their belongings and walked out of the mission home together. James left a letter for his family explaining everything. David called his parents, voice shaking but determined. They drove to California, found jobs, built a life. 5 years later, they returned to that chapel as visitors. The alcove was still there, still hidden, still holding their secrets. David pulled out a small velvet box. James started crying before David even spoke. In the place where their love began, David proposed. James said yes through tears of joy. They couldn't get married in the temple, but they found a progressive Mormon bishop who performed their ceremony in a garden chapel. Some family members attended, others didn't. But they had each other, and that was enough. Their love story proves that sometimes the most beautiful things grow in the most unexpected places. Sometimes breaking the rules means finding yourself. Sometimes the greatest act of faith is choosing love over fear. James and David now run a support group for LGBTQ Mormon youth, helping others find their way. Their secret alcove became a symbol of hope, hidden but not forgotten. Love always finds a way, even in the most sacred spaces. Even when the world tells you it's wrong, love whispers that it's right. Their story reminds us that authentic love transcends tradition, transcends expectation, transcends everything except the human heart itself.